Hey everybody, welcome to our interactive read aloud today of The Dandelion Seed. And it's by Joseph Anthony and it's illustrated by Chris Arbo. And I want you to think about, before we begin, your prior knowledge of dandelions. I know that if you were in my class last year, we did a Mother's Day present for dandelions. And we went and picked them and took pictures with them and blew on them. Take a peek out your window. Do you have dandelions out there? I just looked outside and I saw a whole patch of them. So, here we go. The dandelion seed. Now, let's set our purpose for reading today. Today, I want you to pay attention to the seasons in the book, winter, spring, summer, and fall. And I also want you to pay attention to the journey the dandelion takes. And when we're done, can you retell the journey? It was autumn in the garden. All the flowers had died and dropped their seeds. What's another word for autumn? If you said fall, you're right. This picture looks a little sad with everything dying. Things are getting cold in the fall. Only one seed was left, a little dandelion seed who was afraid to let go. Have you ever just picked one of these seeds on that blowing wish dandelion? If you haven't, try to do that soon. But the winter wind began to blow. The stronger the wind blew, the tighter the seed hung on until it felt the wind blowing right through it. How do you think this dandelion seed is feeling? Maybe scared, or sad, or alone. Have you ever felt like that? Then the seed left the garden behind. It became part of the wind and was carried away. Where is it going to get carried away to? It's so tiny. The world was bigger than the seed ever imagined. Look how little it looks compared to this house. Oh no! Look where it is now. Let me get really close to you. It's on the headlight. That seems dangerous. It was more frightening. More lonely. And more beautiful. This looks like they might be in Chicago with the beach there and all those skyscrapers. And there's the seed. Hope it doesn't go in the water. The more the seed saw, the smaller it felt. This seed is really traveling. And check out, there it is up there by the mountains. It wondered, where did it belong? The seed landed when snow began to fall. It listened in silence as peace covered it like a blanket. Ooh, did you hear that simile, like a blanket? So it said, peace covered it. Now, peace isn't a thing that we can touch. It's a feeling. So, what does that mean, that peace covered it? Have you ever been outside when it's snowing? It's so quiet and peaceful. So, the snow is covering it like a blanket. What's going to happen to this seed? Make a prediction in your head before I turn the page. Will it turn into a plant with all that snow? It disappeared. Where do you think it went? Finally, spring came. Sunshine warmed the air and the soil, and the little seed began to grow tiny leaves and roots. So think about in kindergarten when we grew all of those seeds. That root came down, the shoot went up, and there it is. Its leaves spread wide to gather the sunlight. So in your prior knowledge, we know that a plant needs sunlight to continue growing. Its roots reach deep to drink fresh rain. We know it needs water. Soon, the seed flowered into the bright, delicate dandelion it was meant to be. Is there a word here you might need to clarify? Maybe it's delicate. Delicate means like really fragile. It could break. You got to be careful with it. And that's an adjective. There's two adjectives there describing the dandelion. Bright, delicate, and then dandelion. It shared its green leaves with deer and rabbits. So we know that sometimes seeds travel with animals too, when they eat a seed. And then you know what happens after you eat. Something comes out, and inside that is the seed. And so then it goes into the ground and it can grow that way too. It gave sweet nectar to bees and butterflies. And we know that that's super important, that the bees have something yellow from the dandelion stuck to their legs and its body, right? When they land, see all that right there? Do you remember what that's called from last year? It's called pollen. And then it goes perhaps to another flower, and then we call that pollination. Then, almost overnight, the life that began as one little dandelion seed ripened into many. They each became part of the wind and were carried away. So when you blow on a dandelion and all those little seeds go out, they're all going to make new little plants. All except one. And you might be saying, hey, this is just like the beginning of the story. Don't be afraid, whispered the dandelion. The wind and the sun and the rain will take care of you. Let go, and you will see. You will see. So what lesson did the dandelion learn? Think about that for a second. At the beginning, it was really scared, but it learned to trust in the earth and that it will be taken care of. Is this the main character in the story? Because that's the only person I really saw in the story. If you said yes, I'm sorry, you're incorrect. The main character is actually the dandelion and the seed, because that's who's talking in the story. I saw those quotation marks right here. Don't be afraid, whispered the dandelion. This author, Joseph Anthony, he made the dandelion a character that talks, and he wants you to think about how that dandelion is feeling. If you like this book and you want to try to read it yourself, it is on Epic in Read by Myself. All right, that is it. Go have some fun picking dandelions in your yard if you can. Bye.